Hey everybody, I'm in here cooking my beef ribs and deer meat, and I just want to show you how I season my deer meat. Let's go. All right. Okay, what I want to show y'all, I have another video coming out. If you haven't seen that one, watch that one. I put my beef ribs in here. So I have some deer meat from my brother. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay, what I have here, I already have some beef ribs that I put in here about 3 hours ago. So let me show you my beef ribs. Here are my beef ribs. Very, very tender. Very tender. So I started those out at 8 o'clock this morning. It is now 11. So they are very tender, about to fall off the bone. I also just added now some potatoes, because potatoes don't take that long to cook. I'm using a crock pot. So now I'm going to add my deer meat. And let me show y'all how I season my deer meat. So here's the deer meat. This is called BACKSTRAP. So I'm going to place that in here next. I have 2 pieces. Like I said, it doesn't take it that long to cook because it's a very fine meat. It's finer than beef, so it doesn't take it that long to cook. Here's my second piece of deer meat. Now let me show you how I'm going to season that up. So I've got my beef ribs on the bottom that I started those out at 8 o'clock this morning. It is now 11 o'clock. Now I put in my potatoes and my my deer meat. So let me show you how I'm going to season that. And we're going to close this up and let it go to 2 o'clock, which will be 3 more hours. I'm going to use some black pepper. And never overcook your deer meat, because if you overcook it, the flavor will be good, but it will just taste kind of like how chalk looks. You don't ever want to overcook deer meat. It's a very fine piece of meat. So you want to cook it to where it stays intact. So black pepper. I'm going to use a little bit of my Goya total seasoning. Not too much, because deer meat also picks up whatever flavor you put on it easily. So a little bit of that. Not too salty. I'm going to use some Worcestershire sauce just to give it a little bit of a smoky, seasoned flavor. Not too much. It's like I said, anything on deer meat is so fine of a meat, whatever you put on it. And it looks like I'm putting on a lot, but it's really not. So I put about 8 dashes of that, just to flavor. I'm going to put a tiny bit of accent. Tiny bit. That's enough. Then I'll put a little bit of garlic and onion powder. Like I said, you don't want to ever over season your deer meat or any type of wild game. So if you have deer meat, hog meat, whatever you have, rabbit, squirrel, don't over season it, because remember, they're already animals that they only eat like grass and a few things. So you don't want to over season that meat, because whatever season you put in that meat, that's how it's going to come out. So too much salt, going to be too salty. I'm going to use some onion powder. You can be liberal on the onion powder. I love onion. Onion powder is good. It just cooks down to where it's just basically a nice, delicious onion flavor. I personally like garlic powder. You can leave that out. But I personally like garlic. Once again, I ain't going to put but a few sprinkles. Because like I said, the meat is going to pick up this flavor so easily. And last but not least, where's my parsley? I love parsley, y'all. That parsley, I don't know what it is about it. It's just an earthy flavor. I'm going to put some parsley up on there. You could be liberal with that parsley. Because that flavor comes on through there. It's delicious. Your meat picks it up. Let me put that in there. Alright, so pretty much we got everything we want up in there. So now, I'm going to show you one more little trick. And we're going to close this pot for 3 hours. And our meat and potatoes are delicious. Beef ribs and deer backstrap and potatoes. All that going to be ready. We're going to do a little cheat. We're going to take us some liquid smoke as if we cook this meat on the grill. We ain't going to put that much because this is very, very strong too. So we're going to do about 1 capful. And we're going to just pour that over there. Don't put no more because your meat will overpower. Once again, we got that done. Now, we're going to close this pot. We're going to let this pot go for another 3 hours. And then I'm going to come back, Lord willing. Let me show you what it's looking like. I've got my beef ribs. Trying to find my picture. I've got my beef ribs under the bottom. Cooking good. Been cooking for 3 hours. I just added my fresh cut potatoes. And now my deer meat with the seasoning. We're going to go another 3 hours. And then I'm going to open up the pot and let you see what we got. It's going to be delicious. Alright everybody, I just want to tell you once again, I hope you like the country cooking. I hope you like these food choices. You know, God is good to us, y'all. And He gives us food, like they say with the ravens. They don't go out there and sow or reap. But every day, God feeds them. I'm grateful. In 3 hours, we're going to open this pot. I hope you stay tuned. And I hope you come back. And we're going to see the bounty that God has blessed us with. And thank you so much. Be blessed.